Remember when the Prevention of Electronic Crimes Act, also called PECA, was still a bill? Yeah, good old days. But let's see why and how this law will affect us as citizens. For starters, this law will target our civil liberties like freedom of speech and freedom of expression. We as students, teachers, activists, journalists, lawyers, doctors, engineers, entrepreneurs, housewives, or just as someone with access to the internet should be worried. Because under this law, your online existence will be affected. Section 11 talks about hate speech and says that anyone who prepares or disseminates information that may advance interfaith, racial, or sectarian hatred shall be punished with up to 7 years in jail and/or with fine. This section can particularly be used against minorities if it hurts the religious sentiments of the majority. Recently, a Christian teenager named Nabil Masih was arrested on the basis of a photo that appeared on his newsfeed, and somebody accused him of blasphemy. Now, the important thing to understand here is that you don't control what appears on your newsfeed. Some friend of yours reacts to something on Facebook and it ends up being on your newsfeed. Let's move on to Section 20, Offenses Against Dignity of Natural Person. This section overlaps with the already established Defamation Ordinance under Section 499 of Pakistan Penal Code and the Defamation Act of 2002. What this particular section does is that it criminalizes innocuous satire and parody too, meaning all those Abedaba remedies and hilarious tweets from Nasir Jamshed's parody account will be leaving us soon. And let's not forget the harmless memes of all the public figures, because sharing them is a criminal offense too now. This section greatly affects journalists, because now they'll constantly be self-censoring when publishing stories and exposés. Next comes Section 21, Offenses Against Modesty of Natural Person and Minor. While this section seems good at first glance, it can affect art and literature of various sorts, reason being the vague language used here. For example, sexually explicit and obscenity need to be tightly defined. The law might also capture depiction of child molestation and art and drama. Moving on to Section 24, Cyberstalking. While this could provide protection to the victims of harassment, but because it's extremely broad, it may also implicate any video that may be exposing certain wrongdoing and is therefore beneficial to the public. Hence, it can affect efficient reporting and transparency in a democracy. Is it starting to feel like the Stone Age yet? Just hold on. There's more. Section 25, Spamming. It's good in the sense that it requires SMS or email marketing to have an option of unsubscribe. However, there are also situations when people try to promote a political cause, say, a pro-empathy protest. Someone can claim that it's an unwanted message when it's a core political speech. Retention of traffic data, which is covered under Section 32 of PECA, requires ISPs to store all kinds of transmitted user data for up to 1 year. First, retaining that much data increases the cost of huge server capacity. Second, and most importantly, it raises the question regarding the security protocol of the stored user information. While all this wasn't enough, another clause, titled Section 37, Unlawful Online Content, is added. This particular section authorizes Pakistan Telecommunication Authority, PTA, to remove a vast array of content from the internet if it fits into the generalized criteria. It's so vague that it has the potential to remove political speech that might be deemed anti-national or anti-Islam. This is where you should see freedom of speech leaving the room. Section 41. Confidentiality of information talks about disclosing somebody's information without their consent. While this has the power to protect people from a lot of unpleasant incidents that they can fall victim to in cyberspaces, we worry about those who blow whistles on important matters that authorities otherwise don't disclose because of the infamous national security. This was the gist of the Prevention of Electronic Crimes Act 2016. It is true that laws are made to provide protection to the citizens, but it is also important to address the issues pertaining to those laws and raise a voice where necessary. No law should be enforced at the price of the freedom of the citizens. For more information, visit digitalrightsfoundation.pk.